Hey everyone, welcome to Wrestling Connection. I'm your host Johnny D. the Redeemer, and today we're going to be doing our first What If episode. But before we get to that, let's check out last week's trivia question. Before making it to the WWF, who was the Ultimate Warrior's tag team partner? Answer, Sting. Well, there you go guys, there's your answer. In case you guys haven't noticed, each week's trivia question kind of alludes to the next week's video topic. And as you saw, the answer to last week's question was Sting. So that brings us to this week's What If episode, which is going to be about what if Sting had come to WWE earlier, after the fall of WCW. Let's check it out. Sting was one of the very few wrestlers not to jump ship from WCW to WWE. He even avoided the WWE after WCW went under, joining TNA instead. But what if Sting had come to WWE in light of WCW's acquisition? After WWE bought out WCW, there was a slew of WCW and ECW superstars that began showing up in the WWE. Originally, WWE booked this as an invasion storyline that went infamously bad. For the sake of this what if, instead of booking the invasion story, the WCW and ECW talent are slowly trickling in from their defunct organizations. This goes on for a better part of a year, with many of these newer superstars bettering the WWE talent. To Vince McMahon, this seems as a watering down of his product, and it is becoming tainted. What drives Vince over the edge is the arrival of Ric Flair, and the announcement that Flair is now co-owner of the WWE. This leads Vince McMahon to announce that WWE needs a purge. And just like what really happened, the NWO are brought in, this time towards the end of 2001, a little earlier than what really happened. The trio began to run amok, attacking the likes of Austin, Undertaker, Kane, The Rock, etc. After months of this, Ric Flair confronts Hulk Hogan, saying that he knows what can stop the NWO. There is one man that stood against them before, and he will do it again, alluding to Hogan and Sting's rivalry in WCW. Hogan goes on to proclaim that no one can stop the New World Order. He continues this next week when suddenly the lights go out, and as they come back on, a vulture is sitting on the turnbuckle. This scares Hogan. The lights go out again, and when they come back, the bird is gone. Next week, Hogan comes out and says how Sting is not here in the WWE, and that he disappeared forever with WCW. But as he is saying this, Sting himself repels from the rafters behind Hogan. Hogan turns around and quickly ducks out of the ring, shocked to see the Stinger once again. The following week, Hogan, Hall, and Nash are all standing in the ring, and the three call out Sting. Sting makes his way to the ring to confront the three, and as Hogan goes on to tell Sting that he can't stop him this time, the three begin to attack Sting. This brings out The Rock, who begins fighting off Hogan, while Sting fights off the outsiders. The NWO retreats, while Sting and The Rock stand tall in the ring. In the weeks leading up to WrestleMania 18, we see The Rock convince Sting to let him help take out the NWO. This leads to The Rock confronting Hogan, while Kevin Nash says that he wants Sting one-on-one at WrestleMania. Sting goes on to accept the match when Hall appears from the crowd and the two begin to jump the Stinger. This is when Stone Cold Steve Austin comes to Sting's rescue. So the matches are booked for WrestleMania 18. The Rock versus Hogan, and Sting and Austin versus the Outsiders. Sting and Austin come out victorious, and the Hogan and Rock match plays out as it did in real life. After this, the NWO disbands after the face turn of Hogan, the loss at Mania, and the inevitable real-life firing of Scott Hall. Sting would go on to have high-profile feuds with the likes of The Rock, Triple H, and Austin. We would even get the match of Sting versus The Undertaker, like so many people wanted to see. When The Undertaker is having his Buried Alive match with Vince McMahon at Survivor Series, instead of Kane interfering, it would be Sting who would show up and attack The Undertaker and bury him alive. Vince goes to thank him, but Sting just gives him a look of disgust and walks off, showing that he did not do it for McMahon. The following week on SmackDown, Sting would explain why he attacked The Undertaker, saying that when he came to the WWE, he came with the idea that he would one day square off against the Dead Man. But when he got there, the Dead Man was nowhere to be seen. Instead, he saw a normal man riding around on a motorcycle. He realized that in order to face the Dead Man, he would need to make the Dead Man rise again. He then proceeds to call out The Undertaker, but nothing happens, and he shakes his head and leaves. Just as it was with Kane, vignettes would begin to haunt Sting, and he would become the victim to mysterious happenings. This would lead to the return of The Undertaker at WrestleMania 20 as the Dead Man once again to square off against the Stinger. I would give the win to The Undertaker, and Sting would go on to wrestle into the late 2000s, eventually retiring, having his last match against none other than the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. He would then be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Alright guys, well there you go. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. What you guys liked about it, what you guys would see differently if it had happened. Leave your ideas down below. Like, comment, subscribe. But before you go, let's check out this week's Trivia Challenge.
Who defeated Harley Race in August of 1979 to win their first NWA Heavyweight Championship?
Alright, well leave your answers down below, or you can tweet me at WrestleConnect with your answers, and I'll feature you guys in next week's video. So, like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you in next week's video. Thanks for watching.